Hey everyone, what is happening? We have got an incredible, amazing, fantastic Liverpool streaming service for you. It gives you extra bonus Redmen TV studio shows, podcasts. We've also got documentaries, features, interviews. If you want to learn more about this wonderful football club that we all love, head over to Redmen Plus. It is just like Netflix for Liverpool fans. Fill your boots in your face, eyes and ears with redmenplus.com.
Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the team news reaction. If you're joining us on Twitter, get over to youtube.com/the Redmen TV. As soon as the team's out, we'll be at the board looking at the sides that Jurgen Klopp has selected for this one in the Community Shield against Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. I'm joined by Steve Hall for this one, and for today's watch along, we'll be live on YouTube as well. Twitter people, get over here, youtube.com/the Redmen TV. We're going to carry on now. I'm going to start with Michael McGuinness, who's been a member for 24 months. Let's go, finally win this Community Shield. It'll be the only one that's missing from Jurgen's English trophy haul, isn't it, I suppose, Steve? And then Connor, member for 25 months, just says YMWA. Charles Liverpool's asked the big question, is Núñez in? And right now, Steve, we don't have a flipping clue.
We do not. We'll find out together. It'll be a joy for us all. I would doubt it. It would be my guess, but again, completely guessing at that one. My guess is it's going to be Roberto Firmino, just based off how the last game went and who started and who finished that game. But yeah, who knows? We'll find that out shortly. But yeah, I think Jurgen put this one right, Chris. He said, like, you know, if you win it, it's dead important, and if you lose it, it's easy to brush off. And that is kind of it, really. Is that I know he wasn't thrilled with that where it is in the season, and he's going to have to do his pre-season into next week and stuff. But like, it is what it is. Like, you've got it is.
We've even got a pre-season friendly the day after the Fulham game.
For anyone,
has that been announced yet? Who will be playing?
He said he's not allowed to say. It means Aston Villa, but he's not allowed to physically. He's not allowed to tell everybody. But yeah, it's Aston Villa. And it'll be the guys who don't feature at Fulham getting the games. And he said his pre-season's going to go right through that week as well. So they're going to be doing more training than they would usually do post Fulham than they usually would do in Premier League games. But like, City have played 2 friendlies. This is their 3rd. You know, they do things. Everyone does it differently. And it's going to be fascinating to see how it pans out, where we're at, where they're at, and stuff like that. I remember going to the one at Wembley. I think the last Community Shield we played in was obviously Arsenal, when Ryan Brewster missed his penalty. But again, behind closed doors, it was a bit of a... you can almost write these things off. The City one was actually a quite competitive game. And they actually started way better than us. And then we ended better than them. We needed a couple more minutes. We probably were about to get that second goal. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens again, where it pans out the same. But
we can't really draw too much into it, though. That's what you're kind of alluding to.
Yeah, because we don't know.
City only playing 2 friendlies so far. We're probably not up to speed. I mean, literally, and here's how unseriously both sides have taken it. Probably no one's played 90 minutes yet.
No,
not a single player.
Jurgen said, didn't he?
Definitely not for Liverpool anyway.
No,
I'm assuming the same for Manchester City.
And Jurgen said this will be the first time some of our lads playing 90. What I would say is that I think for Pep, he might see that there's more value in playing against City's B team, you know, against each other than there is friendlies. I imagine in their training games, they might have been playing games against each other. I think that's what he's tended to do in the past. He enjoys that. I watched our opposition preview that Paul did for this game, obviously on Plus with Steve McNairn, and he basically said that, you know, Pep really, rather than bothering to turn up to games where someone might get injured and you're playing against an opposition who might not do exactly what you want, they just play 22 against each other and go at it like full beans.
It's only the money of a pre-season tour.
Exactly, exactly, or the bother of it. So yeah, they went and played in Lambeau Field, which I was quite jealous of. That they got to go there because of Liverpool were there.
Well, I was jealous of Toffee TV because they got to go to the Vikings Stadium and you know, and all that type
maybe
of
Liverpool,
stuff.
Yeah, next year. If I've heard whispers that Liverpool's tour next year is going to be to America. So if they can do Lambeau and Minnesota, me and you will defo go.
Let's do a little bit of that together, please.
Matron, if you're watching or listening, we're going.
Not going.
Yeah, you did Bangkok. We're going to North America. That's where they're at. But yeah, I think we should, in theory, we should be ahead of them.
Yeah,
in terms of, but we just don't know again where everybody's at. Jurgen took it pretty seriously last time. I would say that both times really. So I imagine it's going to be the team that ended the game the other day in the Salzburg game, and we look sharp in that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a couple of super chats here from Josh Owen to go through, and then I'm going to ask you maybe to go over to the board, because obviously I did the starting 11. What I think might be quite interesting is to see what you think the starting 11 will be as well. So Josh Owen has said, let's go Redmen. Excited for today, excited for the season, excited to see how the new signings get on. Big season for Jones, needs to be consistent. And before you go over to the board, let's talk a little bit about Kurt Jones, mate. Because ultimately he has had a lot of stick, hasn't he, so far, for a lad that's played pre-season games for us. And you know, I don't, and you were the same. I don't think he was particularly good the other night, but like some of the stuff that's been said about him and written about him over the course of the last few days, it's just been a bit mental, hasn't it?
I get it to an extent with him. Because he hasn't really ever nailed it for Liverpool. He's had in and out spells and stuff, and I think a lot of it just comes down to anxiety. And you know, if Curtis is going to be an option for Liverpool, then there will be a standard he has to get to. I think expecting him to be at that standard in pre-season games is nonsense. Judge him if he plays 3 or 4 Premier League games, then fair, and he looks in about form, then maybe. But to be honest, I think a lot of people are carrying this over from previous league games as well. My thing with Curtis Jones, and I've said this a few times, is that he's an extremely talented footballer. Like, he can do everything. It's when can he do it at the right times, at the right tempo, in the right places. There's nothing Kurt Jones can't do. He's got everything to his game. Probably lacks a little bit of pace, but other than that, not the biggest criticism of him, really. He's big, strong, quick, technical. I would say quick-footed. Technical. We know he can score from the edge of the box. He's done it a couple of times. Can play a pass. I think what frustrates people with Kurt Jones is decision-making. And I understand that, because he frustrates me a little bit. But getting on his back after pre-season, I just don't understand it. But it is a big season for him, because Liverpool have brought in Carvalho and Harvey Elliott since Kurt Jones has emerged, and they're both younger than him, and they're both gunning for his place in the team. Like, we've got 3 youngsters there, and at the moment, if you had to rank them in terms of who's ahead of who, I think Elliott is the top, Jones is second, and Carvalho's there, but that's only because Carvalho's only just turns up. Yeah. Jones should be miles ahead of Elliott. He's a few years down the line. He's been at Liverpool since he was a kid. Harvey Elliott's rocked up and took his place.
So I just don't know what Liverpool want from him, because when Gini Wijnaldum was with us, it felt like Jones was almost being groomed to be the Gini Wijnaldum, doesn't lose the ball a lot, can hustle, can bustle, can win the ball back, and just not give the ball away. And since Gini left, I've just never really got where I'm pigeonholing Jones, because it's sort of, he sometimes wants to go and attack, and that's fine. But where do you think he's actually found his position within this side yet?
I think he's the left of a 3 if he plays in midfield.
But how does he play it then?
But I think he plays it more in the Naby style than the Thiago style. The issue he's got is Thiago's just way better. And rightly so, obviously Thiago's a world-class footy player. Again, I think that's where the anxiety comes from, really, is the bridge between all the options too big? I don't know, but yeah, I don't judge anyone's performances, really. I don't take a lot from it. You can say he had a good game or he had a bad game. A few did. You know, I think Joe Gomez, for example, has had a poor pre-season in terms of performances, but it does not matter yet. We don't see, have they been legged round Austria, triple
Sometimes
sessions?
you've had training sessions before the game.
But and he literally do. James Milner said, we train 2 days and 2 sessions and then play a match. Of course we are, and that some people will react differently.
You played footy last Saturday, did a warm-up an hour before and we're goose for the games.
I'm still injured now. Yeah, I've still got a dodgy thigh, so yeah, it
is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a couple of comments. Why don't you get yourself over to the board?
Yes, mate,
I want to hear what you are thinking for this game, if that's okay. Jive Henry is in our Discord. He's saying it's the match day watch along again. Afternoon Red says Sahan Irish Red. Steve Ryder says, can't agree with Page up with Nunes, but I do feel a bit selfish because he's taking his family tomorrow, so he wants to see Nunes at Anfield. Feels so needed to play today. If not, horses for courses. We've had a couple of super chats as well over here. Michael McGuinness, £2. Thank you, Michael. Let's get this one. 3-1. You'll never walk alone. Really want to win. Paul Corcoran, $1.99. Thank you. Here we go again. Love the channel. Irish Red is right. Hopefully try and get over to Ireland this season, Steve.
Definitely.
Let's do a live show over there. Rabadam, 22 Norwegian kroner. Thank you, mate. Love seeing United getting worse throughout pre-season. Yeah, Ten Hag apparently wants 4 new signings, and me and Steve are still queuing up. for Mila Kunis. You don't always get what you want, do you?
Who's first?
Steve is at the board.
Yes,
Steve,
mate.
what is the side that you want to see for this game?
If I was doing the show that you did, I would have made one change. I think Matip's going to play instead of Konate.
I did. That was supposed to be Matip.
Oh yeah, because you moved. Yeah, so you moved around afterwards. I've just launched Fabio Carvalho.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I
You
know.
do not want to do that.
I'm
my
guessing
friend.
there's people in the comments asking about the kit. Yeah, we know Liverpool got a new kit. It'll be ready. They haven't given us the photos yet. We'll change it next week. Basically, we will get that sorted. But yeah, mate, I'm with you. Adrian, we know, is going to be in goal, given Kelleher, which I found interesting, by the way. Maybe we can talk about that throughout the watch along or later, Chris, is that basically came back from Ireland duty, having been told by the Irish doctors, according to what Jurgen said in the press conference, he got told to go and rest and it'll be fine. And then in the first training session, Liverpool found out it wasn't fine. That's a big red flag for somebody. That should never happen, really. So, and obviously, Ali's got this little issue that they're just managing, which is fair enough. So, Adrian in goal. Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, I agree, I think it'll be that. Fab, Thiago, Hendo, Salah, Bobby and Diaz. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it will be that. Again, I wouldn't be hugely shocked if it was Darwin Núñez. I'd actually, you asked me what I would like, I'd probably like to see him start, to be honest, because shiny new toy, let's unleash it. But yeah, I think you're right, mate. The interesting ones, obviously, is the goalkeeper. Is just, we've seen Adrian win us games and we've seen Adrian lose us games. Like, he is a box of frogs, he's mental. And we'll see how that pans out. It can be a huge risk, and Liverpool City games often come down to very fine margins. And when I just hope Adrian doesn't do as Zach Steffen, because City fell far of the reserve goalie against us. Hopefully it doesn't come out. But yeah, I'm with you. The only other thing I was wondering, maybe he doesn't go for that midfield three, because he might not want Fabinho to play 90, and in which case Hendo might be on the bench. Or vice versa, or it might just be that he go at 60, he puts Hendo into the 6. I'm not sure he'll want 90 and Fabinho. I might be wrong with that. And if so, I wouldn't have minded someone like an Elliott or a Carvalho in the midfield, just a bit of youth. But yeah, I'm with you, mate. I think that's what it's going to be. Obviously, we'll find out for sure in a few minutes.
Interesting thing, I think you're right, actually, talking about the sort of defensive midfield. It is, I haven't put, I don't think I put Tyler Morton or Stefan Bajcetic on the bench either.
No.
So that actually, if it is about whether Fabinho plays 90 or doesn't play 90, it could be interesting that Henderson's probably the only one that I would have available for that one. As far as the subs go, I mean, obviously we've got Davies there, Milner, Gomez, a few others, Harvey Elliott. Is there anyone there, are you looking at Carvalho maybe, that you want to see join the action?
Yeah, and Elliott, to be honest. I think Elliott's got a huge role to play. I think he's a wonderful footballer, and I think he's going to have a big impact on the Liverpool season, and I think I would like to see him on this game. Just test himself against, the best, if not one of the best teams in the world, which Manchester City most certainly are. So I think Elliott's in for a big season. He was being primed for it last year, and it got delayed because of the horrendous injury at Leeds, but I've got a feeling we're in for him. I would be shocked if Harvey Elliott doesn't see any minutes today. And then obviously the big fella up front, number 9, he will be on the pitch at some point, I'm almost certain. It's just how he gets on. And then I suppose from another point of view, we had the conversation with Kurt Jones before. I think from a more senior point of view, I think Naby's still in that mix. Like, Naby has never nailed himself down in Liverpool's team, and I've said this 100 times, Chris. Like, when you're picking Liverpool's best team, it should have Naby Keita in it by now.
Yeah.
If you're on pure talent alone, he's a more talented footballer than Jordan Henderson, and he is. I just think he is. But he's never quite been able to get in the team for whatever reason. Whether it's discipline or inconsistency, I don't know. Jurgen has never just gone, right, Naby, you're in. The team that beat City in that FA Cup semi-final, it's Naby's in it, and he's unbelievable. He's never quite nailed it, and it's the same conversation with him all the time. Can he go and do it? He's certainly talented enough. Over the course of the summer, I've been dabbling into the socials like I tend to do. A lot of people just give up on him. I think a lot of people have just given up on Naby Keita. I wouldn't be so hasty to do that. But again, he's another one who can frustrate, and I do understand it, very much like Curtis Jones. When he's good, but when he's bad, he's really, really bad. I'm guessing we've got a team, Chris.
We do indeed have a team now. So it is Adrian in goal,
yes.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Diaz, Salah, and Roberto Firmino.
Go ahead, we've got that right.
Subs,
Bench me.
Davies,
Yeah.
Gomez,
Yeah.
Konate,
Yeah.
Milner,
Yeah.
Keita,
Oh.
Jones,
Yeah.
Elliott,
Yeah.
Nunes.
Yeah.
Carvalho.
Yeah. 2,
That's
4,
it.
6, 8, 10 subs.
9.
Who have I got on here who isn't in the team? Costas? No Costas.
No Costas. And
Yeah.
I said this actually.
He's had a little injury, Costas, hasn't he?
Well, we didn't know how many subs there were, to be honest with you, because the FA's official website said you can pick 6 from 7. So I looked back at last year's and said 9, and I threw a 10th up there just in case. But it makes sense because James Milner
no
can
left
play
back
both,
if you have to,
can't he?
yeah. So yeah, shall I go through
the
it then?
side?
Yeah, it's to be expected, really. I thought this is what Jurgen thinks his best team is. That's what Jurgen thinks his best team is. He still thinks that's his best midfield 3. If Liverpool get to a European Cup final, that's the team he'd pick. If that's just right now he would do. Other than obviously Adrian in goal, because we know the issue with the other 2 guys. Bobby Firmino, Chris, big season for him. The forgotten man. Liverpool go and spend £80 million on a forward. Everyone's going on about Mo Salah and the new contract. Sadio Mane no longer plays for us. There's been a lot of talk about Bobby Firmino, yeah. The actual number 9, not the big new number 9 that I've mentioned Darwin Núñez before. He's 27, he's 2 add 9. But Bobby Firmino, there's a big season for him, and I like him against Manchester City. I think he's the right call in this game. I've always thought, though, mate, and I don't know if you agree, I always think Sadio Mane is the most likely to score against Manchester City because that run he makes in behind, and we've saw him do it time and time again. Luis Diaz has to step up into that role now. I think Diaz has had a very good start to his Liverpool career, but we need to see more goals and assists, and what a time. I think he wowed on the big pitch at Wembley on a couple of occasions against Chelsea. He's got another chance to do it again. He had a very good game, didn't he, in that semi-final against City. Time again, I think he could have a very good game as well.
Okay, come back over here, mate,
Yeah,
and we'll talk through it. David John, been member for 5 months. It's a few hours' time. We can decide if this is important or it's a pre-season friendly, and we can very much do that now. Would you mind just having a quick look for the Manchester City team to see if that's out? Because obviously that will be really, really interesting. My guess is that Haaland will start in this one for Manchester City, especially if they've only sold 2. The other one that we've not mentioned before we get into that is, you talk about Bobby Firmino being for the forgotten man. Jota. Like, no one's talking about Jota, and I know it's because of his injury and stuff, but, like, I'm guilty of this as well. I've almost forgotten about Diogo Jota because he's not been available and we've not seen him in pre-season. Let's see the Manchester City side.
Yeah, I can read it out for you. We've got Ederson in goal. They've got Walker, Diaz, Ake and Cancelo as their back four with Diaz as the captain. Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Erling Haaland, Jack Grealish, and then a bench of the new goalie Moreno, Philip Stones, Gundogan, Alvarez, Foden, Mbete, Palmer, and then Wilson as Brandy's the young fullback, isn't he? So yeah, Man City aren't exactly fighting fit. I think Laporte, been ruled out for a bit of time as well. So they've still got a couple of kids on their bench. Everyone was talking about Manchester City and their amazing squad. There's a lot of young players on their bench as well. So I suppose Erling Haaland is obviously the talking point here. We put our new sign on the bench. They've thrown theirs straight in. But Nathan Ake centre half, Cancelo left back, Walker right back, Diaz centre.
Yeah, I remember it reported. Am I right in saying he's out till like September?
Yeah, he's got at least a month
as well.
Yeah.
So I've got the team up for Manchester City on my iPad there as well. So if you can just see it in formation, we're expecting it to be Kyle Walker right back, Diaz and Ake with Cancelo playing left back, Rodri between Silva and De Bruyne, and Mahrez on the right, Haaland up front, Jack Grealish on that left hand side. Now, it's looking at that side, it's a very tricky couple of wingers there. 2 of the best dribblers in the Premier League, and Riyad Mahrez and Jack Grealish. Yeah, but not a lot of
pace. Like I always associate City with having burning pace out on the wings. At least again, because it's often Sterling, maybe it's just him, or Jesus who's quite quick. They haven't really got that.
Jesus gives us problems as well.
He's
a right wing.
He does. He troubles Andy Robbo with that again. The diagonal run behind him. So yeah, they haven't got a lot of pace in their team, which I'm surprised by, because that's what you'd expect everyone wants these days. They haven't really got that. Even in midfield, you wouldn't say anyone there who's ballistic and quick. They are amazing. Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne technically are just out of this world. Erling Haaland is just an absolute freak show. And listen, Grealish and Mahrez, you're right. I think tricky, skillful, but there's no one who you worry about the blistering pace behind. Which I thought that that's how if I was going to go at Liverpool, that's what you'd want to use. But like I say, they're quite limited in their options as well, really. So yeah, I can't see many, I don't know, chalk on the boots kind of wingers there. And even like Cancelo, he likes to drift inside on that left.
From that left, yeah.
He doesn't really hug the bar. And
we know Kyle Walker's got the pace, but he's going to be thinking about Luis Diaz going the other way, I suppose, at times. It's just, do you know what this is to me? It's just last season again. You know, we're not giving too much away. We're going to play in the same way, probably. Probably not too much to worry about unless we get absolutely tonked. Same for Manchester City, unless they get absolutely tonked, they're not going to be worrying too much about it. But, you know, we're now 55 minutes away from kickoff. We've seen both sides. I'll go through them from the board once again. For Liverpool, it's Adrian in net, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, the captain, Thiago Alcantara, Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz and Roberto Firmino. Subs: Davies, Milner, Gomez, Elliott, Canate, Keita, Nunes, Kurt Jones and Carvalho. 6 subs I think we're allowed to use, so there will be players that will be playing the full 90. If we just base it on the back 4, we've got players on the bench there, I think, that can cover every other position. No, we can't. We can't just leave the midfielders and the strikers and take them off, because we don't have enough. We don't have another number now. We've got the wingers there, actually.
Yeah,
Carvalho and Elliott
for Nunes.
Nunes for Firmino. But then you've got...
I would be shocked.
Keita, Milner and Kurt Jones could come in as the midfield 3.
I would be shocked if the both fullbacks played all 90.
That's a good point.
To be honest, I think, mate, I don't know about you. Interesting stuff from Michael Reid, our friend. He done an expert insight with me a few weeks ago. He loves a good start. Michael, Liverpool starting 11 has an average age of 29 and 315 days. The oldest starting 11 we've named since 1953. Liverpool are going for the old. Yeah, no, all the young lads are on the bench. It's a very youthful bench. It's a very experienced 11.
Good job Milner didn't start then, isn't it? Like, you know, that might get me a record that we'll
if
never
Milner
get.
was that right back, isn't that Trent? Yeah, the average age of 46, never mind 29.
So there you go. Liverpool playing 4-3-3. Manchester City playing 4-3-3. Kick-off in 53 minutes time. We'll be back at around about 1:45. For this one, it's me, it's Hall, it's you, it's all the way through. It's the Community Shield. It's Liverpool, it's Manchester City, it's Klopp, it's Guardiola, and there's a big shiny plate on the line.
Thank you so much for joining us on this video. Do drop a like and share it on social media if you enjoyed. And if you want more from us, please do consider joining Redmen Plus, our Liverpool streaming service. Get access to documentaries about Liverpool legends, past and present, interviews with Liverpool legends, past and present, and more Redmen shows each and every week in video and in podcast. It's redmenplus.com.